It's hard to put into words all this school has helped these students to accomplish. We've helped thousands of students receive valuable education and helped hundreds of students obtain high-paying jobs. Our cost per student is low. It's about $10 per month to send a student to school. Last year, the donation from the Culture of, it was funds raised for the Culture of Peace Committee, not only put us over the top in our fundraising goal, it helped send over 20 students to school for a year. And that really is significant. That's 20 families that's been helped. You know, that's over 100 people. And then there's a rule of 10 that we use when we look at the impact of the school. And basically 10 times what we spend at that school, that's coming back in terms of salaries right now. And 10 times that is what the international community saves by being able to hire local nationals instead of having to bring in international staffers. And it just makes a tremendous difference. But it's not, it's not the facts and figures that really make this story the success. It's the stories of the individual students. That's what matters most. It's students like Yelda, who you'll hear about later tonight. Students like Mike Majabi, whose father worked as a mechanic for years and years. And as a mechanic working full-time, he made about $100 a month. And Majabi was able to get a job with the education that she received at this school, and she earns about $800 a month. And she's able to not only look after her family with this, but her extended family. And that's more people that can focus on what's important in life instead of just trying to get by. Instead of maybe having to turn to some sort of armed faction, turn to the Taliban for work instead. These people can get on with their lives. And although Afghanistan is a very different culture, we all want the same things in life. We want food on our tables, and we want a roof over our heads, and we want safety and long life for our kids. And that's what the people of Canada want as well. It isn't to say that we haven't had our share of challenges. And as well of Sahila, another one of our students who's gone on to study in the United States. We're also the students of our healthcare program, many of whom are now nurses at Merway Hospital. It isn't to say that we haven't had our share of challenges along the way. Isan, our director, he continues to receive threats against his life on a daily basis. And members of his family have been abducted and beaten by the Taliban in an effort to try and get him to stop teaching. He's now in Calgary getting ready to receive an honorary degree. But which should have been a very proud moment for him. It's a bit bittersweet because the student that was supposed to join him had to drop out because of threats from the Taliban. Hearing the stories that I've heard from the Culture of Peace Committee, like the amount that you guys have shared of yourself on this, it does really touch me, and I really appreciate it. The ACCC has had a share of setbacks, and there are times when our teachers went without their salaries and our generator ran on fumes. Throughout it, our students have never lost hope. And I'm reminded of a story back in April when there was a bombing against the provincial council, and Asan and some of his many of the teachers at the school, unfortunately, they lost lots of family members during that bombing. And it was an absolutely chaotic day at the school. And people were having to leave. People were going to the hospital to check on their family members. And Asan was just at his wit's end. He was running around and he was trying to organize everything. And some of the students from the female program turned to him and said, "Asan, what have you been telling our parents? They think that we haven't been coming to class." And he's like, "Oh my goodness," on top of everything else, because the last thing he wants is for rumors to start spreading about his students. He goes, "Okay, no, I'll call your parents. What's their number?" He pulls out his phone, he goes to call them, and they say, "It's okay, sir. April Fools." And isn't that just human nature right there? Isn't that just human nature right there? That even on one of their darkest days, they found something to laugh about, they found something to joke about, and they keep that hope alive. And every day our students get up and go to school, knowing that they're taking a risk. There are people who want nothing more to stop them from going to school, but they've chosen hope over fear. And if they are brave enough to make that choice, then I'm very proud to be someone who can help make sure that there's room for them when they arrive. And sometimes it seems like all we hear about Afghanistan is bad news. And it would be very easy for us to just write off the country and say, nothing has changed in centuries, we're just going to keep killing each other, why should we get involved? But it can change. If we keep that spark of hope alive, if we choose hope over fear, I'm privileged today to be surrounded by people who have made that choice, who have chosen hope over fear, hope for a better future for the women of Afghanistan, and hope for a better future for us all. And I'm extremely grateful, and I thank you very much for having me here and for your support of the Afghan Canadian Community Center.